The Interlagos circuit pulsed with anticipation. Rain clouds loomed, casting an eerie shadow over the Brazilian Grand Prix. The air crackled with electricity, mirroring the tension on the starting grid. Verstappen, having to start from 17th, had a mountain to climb. All eyes were on the Dutchman, wondering if he could pull off a miracle. The grid itself was a cocktail of surprises. Norris, the young McLaren prodigy, sat on pole. Hamilton, not confident on his Mercedes, looked ahead to a slow, wet day. The stage was set for a thrilling showdown. The smell of damp asphalt and high-octane fuel hung heavy in the air. This was it. This was Formula One at its most unpredictable. The drivers, helmets on, steeled their nerves. The roar of the crowd was deafening, a wave of sound washing over the grid. The lights went out, signaling the start of the formation lap. But little did anyone know, the drama was just beginning. As the cars snaked their way around the circuit on the formation lap, disaster struck. Stroll, the Canadian driver for Aston Martin, spun his car. His car slammed into the barriers. Nobody was surprised. The Canadian ended up in the gravel. After a short time, the restart was ready to take place. The delay only heightened the tension. The rain, which had eased momentarily, threatened to return with a vengeance. The São Paulo Grand Prix, already shaping up to be a classic, had just taken its first dramatic twist. The race restarted, the tension palpable. Verstappen, starting from P17, wasted no time. Like a shark scenting blood, he carved his way through the field. By the end of lap 2, he had already moved up to 10th, his Red Bull a blur of blue and yellow. The early stages of the race were a whirlwind of overtakes and position changes, keeping the crowd on the edge of their seats. The crowd erupted, their cheers echoing around the circuit. The message was clear. Verstappen was not going to let his grid penalty deny him victory. The hunt was on. Section 6, Safety Car Scramble, Strategies Under Pressure. The virtual safety car period triggered a flurry of activity in the pit lane. Teams scrambled to adjust their strategies, weighing up the risks and rewards of pitting for fresh tires. The decision proved to be a masterstroke. The Dutchman, it seemed, had timed his race to perfection. The race, however, was far from over. The rain, which had eased earlier, returned with a vengeance. The track surface became increasingly treacherous, turning the race into a lottery. The tension, already at fever pitch, went up another notch. Section 7. A sea of red rain gods dictate a dramatic pause. As the rain intensified, the race stewards, in the interest of safety, made the difficult decision to red flag the race. The cars, their tires struggling to cope with the deluge, slowly filed into the pit lane, bringing the action to a temporary halt. The red flag, while necessary, only added to the drama. With the clock ticking down, teams and drivers faced an agonizing wait, unsure when or even if the race would resume. The atmosphere in the paddock was electric, a mixture of anticipation and frustration. The delay, however, gave everyone a chance to catch their breath and assess the situation. But with the conditions so unpredictable, anything could still happen. Section 8, Slippery when wet, Behrman and Joe's struggles. When the race finally resumed, it was a sprint to the finish. The track, still damp in places, remained a challenge. Several drivers, caught out by the conditions, spun off, their races effectively over. Behrman, the young Haas driver, and Joe both struggled to keep their cars on the track, their lack of experience in the wet clearly showing. Their struggles served as a stark reminder of the demands of Formula One, a sport where even the slightest mistake can be costly. Verstappen, however, seemed unfazed by the conditions. The Dutchman, a master of wet weather driving, continued to set the pace, his Red Bull gliding across the track with remarkable composure. Section 9, Verstappen's masterclass, a symphony of speed and strategy. Verstappen showed everyone why he's the reigning champion. He was in a league of his own, his car a blur of blue and yellow as he navigated the treacherous circuit with effortless grace. But Verstappen's victory was not solely down to his driving prowess. His team, Red Bull, also deserves immense credit for their strategy calls. From the decision to pit for intermediates early on to the gamble of staying out during the virtual safety car period, Red Bull outmaneuvered their rivals at every turn. The São Paulo Grand Prix was a masterclass in driving and strategy, with Verstappen and Red Bull delivering a performance that will be remembered for years to come. Section 10. The final showdown, a nail-biting finish in Sao Paulo. As the race entered its final stages, the tension reached fever pitch. But behind him, a thrilling battle for the remaining podium places raged on. Fernando Alonso, the veteran Spaniard, rolled back the years with a stunning drive, putting his Aston Martin in contention for a podium finish. The final laps were a nail-biting affair. His performance, a testament to his experience and racecraft, capped off a thrilling and unpredictable Brazilian Grand Prix. Section 11, Orange Rain. Verstappen conquers Interlagos. The checkered flag fell, signaling the end of a dramatic and unforgettable Brazilian Grand Prix. Verstappen, as expected, took the victory, his dominance from the restart undeniable. He had overcome a grid penalty, treacherous conditions, and a charging field to claim his rightful place on the top step of the podium. The win was a testament to Verstappen's talent, determination, and the brilliance of his Red Bull team. It also highlighted the unpredictable nature of Formula One, a sport where anything can happen and often does. And the double podium for Alpine, with Ocon finishing second, capped off a remarkable race for the French team. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix will be remembered as a race of high drama, stunning overtakes, and a worthy champion in Max Verstappen.